Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Welcome to St. Patrick's Day. It's a day. I come from a very Irish family. My father is from the clan O'Malley. I have this tattoo on my arm that I got now 10 years ago. Like today is the 10-year anniversary of me getting this tattoo. It says Terra Marquis Potens, which means powerful by land and sea. And honestly, where I was when I got this tattoo and where I am, hey, Amber, and where I am now is just so different that yes, I absolutely am powerful by land and sea. And look at those guns. I mean, massage therapist, but pretty proud. Especially if you would have seen my arm when I got this tattoo. It was much bigger. So today's live stream is a Dragon Invocation. For those of you who have been around, you know what they are. I do soul toning frequencies. So it is in light language, dark language, soul coded frequency, whatever. It comes out in different tones and different sounds. Sometimes I end up drumming a little bit or snapping. So we'll do that in a minute, but I always start my invocations with the intention, and today I'm getting called to pull from my favorite dragon deck, which is the Dragon deck by Diane Cooper. I know there are other ones. I personally haven't been drawn to get any other ones but these. I love these ones. The pictures are gorgeous and the messages are simple enough that my kids can even play with these. So yeah. Hi Mary. Hi Mom. Oh my god, so this chunk just jumped out. I actually didn't mean anything except for that I'm a bad shuffler. Okay. So which dragon? So St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is like a weird day, right? Because it's totally a Catholic holiday, but everyone in America celebrates it as a day just to get drunk. And this year we can't. So I wanted to talk more about the tale of St. Patrick's, especially how he got rid of all the snakes in Ireland. And there are totally like 18 billion different versions of this myth. So please, if you have a different one, like, I get it, but just let me tell my story. So there was in Ireland there were all these snakes that were like just ruining everything, and St. Patrick's came along and St. Patrick came along and he banished all the snakes from Ireland so that then they could grow all of their vegetables and they didn't have to worry about the implications of the snake. The snake, of course, meaning more than just actual snakes, meaning that there were devils in Ireland. Specifically, they're talking about the pagans. So the pagans are the actual, this is hilarious. The pagans are the actual, what they're really referring to. Snakes equal the Druids. Exactly. So my mom is watching. And she's the one that would have taught me all of this. So if you see something from Mary Norton as a comment, probably going to affirm what I'm saying. Just Celtic, Druid, pagan. That's how I was raised. That's why people are always like, wow, you really get this really easily. Like, yeah, I was raised with earth-based religion. So I didn't have to relearn it as an adult. It was just more of a, fuck, mom was right sort of thing. So pagans, so yes, the Catholics took the story saying that St. Patrick, meaning to be like the symbol of the Catholic Church, coming to Ireland and banishing the Druids, aka the pagans, and overtaking a lot of their stories. So Ostara became Easter, and St. Bridget's Day became what we now celebrate as Groundhog's Day, but like, so they just took the saint. So a lot of stuff that you recognize is like very similar in the Catholic Church, and then you're like, huh, weird, there's these really, really old like pagan stories that are even older than the Catholic story that like, they're very similar. It's because of, honestly, of this whole idea of St. Patrick. Was St. Patrick an actual person? Like, even that is up to debate. Like, it could be that the whole story of St. Patrick's Day and St. Patrick really was just a story of how the Catholic Church overtook an entire an entire country, like an entire cultural populace was deemed like they did horrible things. Like that's where the first stake burnings and stonings and drownings and like all of that stuff in the name of Jesus really, like of course there were the crusades, but all again like time and who was really like we all know that history is written by the victors and how many other books and all of that have been burned. So we kind of just have to take it in our own knowing. And then as those of you who work with me know that I trust a lot from previous lives. I work a lot with timelines, past lives, future lives, being able to merge them all into 0 point calibration so that we are currently embodied in our highest potential and have our highest capabilities of magic available to us right now. So how perfect that the story of St. Patrick's Day is happening while we're all under social distancing. Okay, I know some people are under like actual legit quarantine. Let's remember that social distancing is not the same as quarantine, but you know, we're all trying to be safe. The interesting thing about this is that the dragon that's coming up literally over and over and over and over and over and over again is this red, gold, and black dragon Thors. So Thor, lightning. Lightning bolts, wrathful Dakini energy. I was just talking about this on Sunday in this week's Sunday Morning Coffee with Karen. What is happening right now is like a lightning bolt. What's happening right now is an electric shockwave going through all of global consciousness because honestly, when Jesus originally came to this planet, in his form as Jesus, he was a rebel. Okay, can we just like take 1 second? Today is a Catholic holiday, shall we? Jesus Christ was a rebel. And I don't feel like a lot of people remember this, that he was a rebel. He was against the Roman Empire. He was a good, this good Samaritan doing good things, healing the sick, giving food to the poor during this very authoritarian dictatorship type period in Jerusalem, in all of the Middle East, and all of that area that was at the time the Holy Roman Empire, right? I don't feel like we talk about it in like 5th grade, and then the whole rest of the time you do history, no one really conceptualizes how big the Roman Empire was. So here's Jesus Christ being a rebel. He goes and learns from all these different mystery schools. In the Bible, he's just gone. Like he's from 8 to 33, like he's just, we have no idea where he is. But those who follow the Gnostic teachings, who might follow some of the more like some of the deeper sects of Christianity, those who have mentored with Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene, know that Jesus and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene were in Egypt, they were in Iran, they were all over, they were in India, they were learning these mystery schools, uh, this sacred ability to become an alchemist, to become a philosopher's stone, to be simultaneously increasing your human conscious, bringing your unconscious desires to the surface so that you can recognize the beauty of all of the duality of life, and also reaching high and bringing in higher frequencies to help all of humanity. That is what Jesus Christ was really doing. And I'm not someone who would consider myself Christian, but I definitely mentor with Jesus Christ and Mother Mary and archangels and Mary Magdalene a lot in a very colleague sort of way. Like, they all are not here in this time and space. So what lessons can they be teaching me? What lessons can I glean from the past and the stories that we do have available, and then trust in my own knowing? So because I'm telling you all of this, because when Thor's black, gold, and red dragon comes up, it's because you need to realize that yes, rapid freaking transformation is happening, but you are safe. You are held. This is a grand plan. Even if Some of the people you know are not of a high, they are very stuck. They're not only like in the chess game, they're the chess board. They have zero perspective on what's going on, and it's because their base needs are not being met, and that's why we have to really stop disseminating any misinformation, any freaking conspiracy theories, any of that shit just needs to stop right now because we have a real thing happening. Whether or not you believe the virus is real, we are really being told to stay in our houses right now. Like, it is all of the rest of that. Who is the snake? What is the snake? None of that matters. What matters is, can you believe and trust that you are being burned in through a holy fire right now and connect to the fire of your own Holy Spirit? We're having a chance to be held, and our sports are canceled, and a lot of like all of the late night TV shows are canceled, and a lot of our entertainment is canceled. Okay, you've got Netflix and all that, but some of the stuff that they're showing on there, like yesterday I was watching a Nova about like just space. Like, what is space and what is empty space and how does it work? There's another show on Prime Video called Undone, all about merging timelines. Like, honestly, it's no longer secret, and if you're choosing to stay so close-minded that you don't believe that there is some grander, bigger, stronger frequency happening on Earth that's such a big picture that our human consciousness can't really grasp it, then probably anything I ever say to you is never going to make sense, and you should just not. Like, you can try, but I don't think that those are the people who are here listening. Those of you who listen, those of you who stay involved, those of you who come and watch my live stream, for whatever reason, even if you feel like most of it is over your head, there is a part of you, either your hands light up or your heart starts pounding. Some part of you recognizes that what I'm speaking is the truth, and you want to know more about how you can be connected to the truth. And when that so while we're being held in our houses in this super safe time of transformation, being told to wake the frick up, what's happening is these aquamarine dragons from Neptune, again, they came up 2-3 days ago on the Sunday Morning Coffee with Karen. They are all about enabling you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Your soul wisdom. Not this is not wisdom you're going to get out here. This is why I get really, really frustrated at people who are like, I just want to sit with you and clear the energy and get all those pieces out of you and clean out the trauma and really help you to see what a beautiful, sparkly diamond you are. That is not your job as a metaphysical-based transformational coach at all. It is not your job to take a diamond, like a piece of coal, sitting in there and break it apart to reveal the diamond inside for someone else. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. It's not your job. It's not your position. If you feel like it is, then there's some of your own. Again, this is your own soul's wisdom. There is a lot of inner work needing to be done. That's not to say that you can't be in a cave with somebody, talking to them while they're doing their own mining, while they're doing their own excavating, while they are in their own process. You are welcome to, like, not even be in the cave, but be the cave. Be a reflection for them to see how deep and how vast they can really be, but not do it for them. That's why today's invocation is all about being your own luck and being your own pot of gold, because right now I'm seeing a lot in this space of, let me help you, instead of opening up for a dialogue. Like, are you interested to learn what it's like to know that when you're asleep, you're doing work with your clients still, and your physical body is just resting? Do you want to be able to connect to your past lives and learn lessons from then so you don't have to learn them now? Do you want to remember those ancient mystery schools and that magic and those the spell crafting and the alchemy and the true history of Earth and all of these things? Or do you want to just clear trauma from this life? Okay? That is the point of when I said the other day that I'm fucking bored. It's because I'm bored with people focusing on this lifetime only, because it's going to take you too long. It's why we are in this situation. Honestly, dragons have come, and the final dragon is the solar dragon. He's the solar dragon. He comes and he lights shit up. He's like, you guys are taking too fucking long. You're spending the prime of your life focusing on this one lifetime. When you've lived 80,000 lifetimes, you have the power to pull in all of them. You have the capacity to help within the next 200 years move this planet into higher planes of consciousness, but you're too focused on your own shit from this life. Get the fuck over yourself. Seriously. Get over yourself. Get over your own shit. Stop making it about you. Stop making it about your client. Stop making it about your mother, and make it about the fucking planet. The liberation of all beings, not yourself and your soul-coded clients. Because that shit is bullshit. Everyone is soul-coded to each other at this point because we have all lived so many lifetimes together. Okay? You have no job other than to get yourself to a point where you know that your divine mission on earth is to liberate all others, and then you never have to do shadow work. You never have to do trauma work. You never have to do any of that shit ever again, because it's not about you at all. Ever. It's not about you. And anyone who thinks it is being a selfish asshole and actually is not working towards the liberation of the planet, is not bringing in higher levels of consciousness, is not in any way actually helping, because they're stuck in a paradigm that has cracked apart ever since the lunar eclipse happened in January of this year. If you are working with anyone or anything that is talking about ways to process trauma prior to January of this year, you are in the old paradigm and you're not doing jack shit to actually help us move forward. At all. How are you going to do it? You have to imagine the unimaginable. You have to tap in to your own psychic gifts. You have to find a mentor who isn't going to try to push their process on you, but instead is going to hold you to push your own process on yourself. You have to be your own unique frequency. You have to be the essence of your magic, and your magic is the magic of Kali Ma. Your magic is the magic of Green Tara. Your magic is Jesus Christ. Your magic is Thoth. If you are trying to separate yourself from any gods or goddesses, deities, in anything, you're still off the fucking mark. Because you're no different at all. Source broke itself apart because it was bored of being whole and complete, or however you want to see it. But for you to believe in any way that you are separate from your animal totem, from your favorite god, from any of that stuff, means that you don't fucking get it. And it is irresponsible of you to be trying to teach other people your process when you don't actually understand your process. You're fucking up other people's lives because you can't get over yourself long enough to recognize that you're here for such a bigger purpose than to clear the shame from your fucking childhood this time. Seriously. Okay, let's talk for a second, then we'll do this invocation. This was way fiery than I anticipated, but of course you got like red. The only water we have over here is this guy, and honestly he's from Neptune, so it's very emotional still, right? He wanted to reform the Jewish religion, not interested in politics. St. Paul, St. Peter. Check out the history of God with, yeah. Yes. Okay. Law. Hi. Okay, so let me just double check that there's no other messages on here. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and resolve and receive ineffable knowledge. Okay, so that's this guy again. This is your homework assignment while you're all stuck in your houses. Start practicing talking to your higher dimensional self, your soul, when it was a dragon. So when I do invocations, what I'm doing is helping you solidify into your DNA, your dragon light body, which is a spiritual technology. It's like kind of like an armor, but not really, that's being constantly upgraded as global consciousness becomes available to add more. So if you can think about like a video game where you're constantly upgrading your armor like throughout the course of the game, that's what's happening with the dragon light body. So no matter when you like first interact with me, you're going to immediately get the most. It'd be like getting a new iPhone. You're not going to first like have to install every version of iPhone, like of the iOS that ever came out. You don't have to start with iOS 1 and fucking go all the way to whatever you're on right now, right? When you get a new phone, you're at the highest level. But each time you get a new invocation, each time you work with me and we do that, and each time you even hear me speak at all, because my entire throat chakra is attuned to dragon energy, so I can speak in English and I'm still activating the dragon energy. Whenever that happens, you're getting the most recent upgrade. So as I evolve, you evolve. It's the reason why people who work with me feel like they're in a time warp. It took me about a year to be able to handle the amount of timeline jumping that I do, and the last 8 weeks I've had to even more so like be so solid in who I am and what I am and how I serve, because the people who maybe found me 6 months ago, they're starting to like fling off because they just can't hold it together long enough to keep moving forward with me because they don't think they're worthy to. Everything I teach is worthiness. The reason why you think about gold with dragons, which is why I'm doing this, like your own luck, your own pot of gold, lucky dragons, lucky four-leaf clovers, lucky pot of gold, that is all you. The reason why dragons are so associated with gold, the hoarding part, that was Human King's fear of you remembering that you're an actual dragon. The gold part is that the abundance in you is that you create your own wealth. Money doesn't attract to you, you create it. Yes, hear you. Yes, Deborah. Let me take a sip of water. So if you are in your house right now, needing to learn how to tap into your psychic abilities and learning who you are and your own gifts that you give to the world in exchange for money, I guess, if that's like, even that still makes it sound like money is out here. Money is within you. Vastness of wealth is within you. It's when you can remember that you came here to incarnate in duality for a reason. And as it is the age of Aquarius right now, your reason is to prepare the planet for the coming age of the new golden age of miracles, in which there will probably be several golden ages of miracles before we can really move forward. But everything that I've been able to glean from those who I actually trust to be of the caliber, which is honestly not very many because I've been here for so fucking long, I don't feel like very many of my original friends are still here. 80,000 lifetimes is a long time, okay, bitch. I, sorry, I just get sidetracked. It's like 200 years. We could be actually fully ascending the entire planet into a higher plane of consciousness where other 3D beings wouldn't even actually perceive our planet until they ascended to a higher level within the next like 200 years. Like 22 is what I keep getting. But again, I am so connected to my own channel that I don't look other places for my resources. I don't tend to have more information for me. I can give you a few resources. I can give you, Kaya Ra and the Sophia Code. She's awesome, but she's really afraid of channeling too much of the darker energy of, I wouldn't even say afraid, intimidated maybe, of channeling the darker, heavier energy of what dragons really mean. Dragons are toddlers, okay? Dragons are ancient beings with the disposition of toddlers. They love to destroy, they love to create, Everything they create is the most precious thing in the world to them. They throw fucking temper tantrums. They feel with the depths of every part of them, all of their lows and all of their highs, and there is no judgment, and then they move on. I don't need to sit with you and help you to crack open the fact that you're diamonds. I just sit there, and every time you look at me, I reflect back to you that you're a freaking diamond. Whole, complete, multifaceted, crystal clarity. Sometimes, I'm able to connect so deeply into that, like I start to vibrate. My whole body doesn't even have to come from my vocal cords, and I feel like I am this octahedron, like singing crystal, trying to disseminate to the rest of consciousness that you have you are already so much more powerful than you have ever given yourself credit for. And the fact that you show up in any of your spaces to try to be authentic by saying, sorry, I was clearing, sorry, I was doing this, is actually showing where you don't think you're worthy of being past that. I'm not saying that I don't go in and find something new that's going on with me, like, interesting. I want to up-level. I'm like, my goal this year is to hit multiple 7 figures in my business. Yeah, I'm going through my process of what is blocking me, but I don't come on and say, sorry guys, I was gone for a week because I was clearing the shame out of my system from shit that happened to me when I was a little kid. No. What's happening to me is that I am going through my process of feeling the depths of what is it really going to feel like to be a millionaire? And if it feels really scary, how can I make that feeling less scary by feeling the opposite? Being okay with being extremely poor. Because I incarnated into duality to feel it all, not to. The process of clearing is even being redefined right now. Again, anything that you've learned previously, you guys are going to notice your old meditations just don't have the power anymore. Your old ways of doing things are not going to be powerful enough because your crown chakra, your corona chakra, has been blasted the fuck open. And you're safe. You're totally 1,000,000,000,000% safe right now. Okay? Safe. Melissa, hi. Lol. Smileys. And finally, the Golden Solar Dragon, again, helps you to stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and codes activated. Become an inspired leader. This dragon, along with Thor's dragon, is one of the overlighting mentors for Fearlessly Authentic Leaders, the Super Conscious Leader group that I have, which is a $69 one-time payment for lifetime access into the group. You get the 5-day masterclass, weekly live streams, special Dragon Invocations that I do. There's going to be guest speakers. There's a special one-on-one in there that's literally a quarter of the price of anything else that I charge for one-on-one. And 1 week access early to any of my new programs that are going to be launching, which honestly in the last 2 weeks I've downloaded the next 6 or 7 months worth of programs. So you're going to want to be in there because they're going to start filling up before they ever even reach the market, because as this group grows and they get access a week before everyone else, you're going to want to be there. Being an inspired leader means getting off of Facebook. So you guys might be like, well, Karen, how have you been getting off of Facebook? I'm moving that group over to Patreon. I'm getting my YouTube channel much more active. I've been submitting articles to different journals. I have been writing my book. I've been working to work with my guides to make more connections in TV and radio, because right now we are activating a lot of people that weren't awake before, but those of you that were already kind of awake, it's time to go the next step. If we're changing the globe, if we're going to be global leaders, we need to stop talking to each other and start talking to the masses and being okay if it goes over their head. Guys, I've been doing this for 2 years. It's been going over people's heads with the dragons for 6 months. When I would talk about pleasurable parenting and sensual embodied motherhood and all of this stuff, I would get glass eyes, but I still showed up every day, and here you are 2 years later and finally getting it. My inbox every day. Oh my gosh, who are you? What are you doing? How do I work with you? Because I am so solid in who I am. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I serve. And how I serve is to be a great beacon of light, a lighthouse on the cliff instead of a lifeboat in the water. Okay? You have to do this on your own. Okay? I'm not saying not with a mentor. I mean not learning someone else's process. You are ineffable. You are a god. You are a dragon. You are an angel here on earth to work with other angels for the liberation of all beings from the karmic cycle of suffering. That is what you are meant to do here on this planet. And I know right now that seems terrifying. And I know right now a lot of you are like, not me. But I know who I am and what I am and how I serve strong enough to know that when I say that to you, that it is the truth. Not my truth, the truth. Because I am solid. I am a pillar. Becoming your own luck, becoming your own pot of gold, comes from looking in the mirror, and instead of trying to find all the reasons why you're broken, you find all the reasons why you're flawsome. I freaking love that word from Tyra Banks. Flawsome. Not flawless, because we all have flaws, but we are flawsome. And when you can know that on your human level enough, then yeah, you start seeing the flawless diamond of your God self, of your dragon light body, of your full potential as a philosopher's stone. A philosopher's stone can turn poison into medicine, can turn lead into gold, can turn water into wine. You have that power inside of you. You have gone through mystery schools of lifetimes of training. You know this. And maybe this lifetime was hard, but the best thing you can ever do for yourself, your family, your children, your community, the whole world, is to stop making it about you and start making it about all that there is for you to experience, for us all to experience. If there was no suffering on earth, what would this earth look like? And once you can see it, then it's your job to use your psychic abilities, the automatic writing, which I don't think I ever talked about, to actually lay the scaffolding and lay the framework to get it done. So what I mean by that, let's talk about the automatic writing. So automatic writing, it's a tool that I even teach my children when they have a question, they're stuck, they don't really know what to do. With my clients, they're trying to learn how to trust their own intuition more. They want to connect. There's like a being maybe that keeps coming to their dream over and over again. They want to learn to connect with them. The first place you start is automatic writing with I use two colored pens at the very beginning. One color is me, this is my question, and then I just switch pens and I start writing, and I've made the decision and the decree and the knowing that when I switch colors, I am channeling, aka being the vessel of physical form for another entity or my highest self or God or source or whoever. So like when someone says that like Joseph Smith, he claims to have found the golden plates because angels were coming to him and he was able to write down notes to find the Book of Mormon. Most likely he was in a meditative trance and was able to see these, but he was still the one writing. Angels don't tend to come and pick up and draw you a map, okay? So that's what it is. It's, yeah, absolutely grand visions of Mother Mary standing right here in this room, but she's never come and picked up the pen. It's always been me writing, and then I read it the next day in a different color and it says, "Hi Karen, I'm Mother Mary, blah blah blah." I'm like, oh shit, that was not a dream. Okay, cool, let's move on. How do I help people with this? Why do I need to know this? How do I disseminate? Again, I've been doing this for so long that any fear of looking crazy is way out the window. Don't care. Um, that's a huge thing. When you start opening those psychic channels, there's going to be stuff that comes up. But the stuff that comes up, that when you are above, when you're no longer the chessboard because your safety and your basic needs are met, and you're no longer the chess pieces because you're not just a pawn in the game, and you're not even the queen, but you've moved up to goddess level and you can see the whole chessboard for what it is, this giant game of duality, of light and dark, of white and black, of happiness and despair, of suffering and bliss, was a game that you, as a whole divine, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent being, decide to come and play, to come break up the monotony of being omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. So that's why I say get over yourself. You chose to play the game, so play the game. Don't cry. Don't run away. Don't say that you want to be one thing and then do something totally different because it's going to be safer. You want to be president of the United States, then you should be waking up every single morning, staring in the mirror, and telling yourself that you are president of the United States, and then going and writing down, okay, today what do I need to do to stay on that goal? You want to be the next Oprah, maybe not Oprah, Oprah Winfrey, someone who changed their lives forever and then changed the lives of hundreds of thousands and millions of other people. You better be waking up in the mirror every single day and figuring out who you need to be by writing down your to-do list, even a week-long list. Maybe this is what I need to do this month. But you stay on the same timeline by waking up every morning. I am this person. I am this person. I am the leader of. I am the leader of. I am the leader of dark consciousness. I am the leader of conscious beauty. I am the leader of the free will of all people. I am the leader of my family. If all you want to do is be the best fucking mom that you could ever be, because right now you feel like a shitty ass mom, then you better be waking up every morning saying, I am a present, caring, compassionate mom. And then sitting down for 5 minutes, writing down, what action steps do I need to take today to stay in alignment with being that person that I already know that I fucking am, because I don't need to become anything. I am it already. And that's why I say you don't question your beliefs, you question what you know. Every day I wake up and I question, what do I know to be true? What do I know to be true? What do I know to be true? And I run it through my nervous system and I run it through my body and I feel my cues and I know who I am and I know what I am and I know how I serve and I show up and I breathe fire down your necks and I pour all sorts of knowledge down on you. And then I go about my day because I am who I am, which is Karen Terrace, the Dragon Doula, here to witness the birth of dragons and the liberation of all on planet Earth for her ascension. That's who I am. So, without any further ado, let's do this Dragon Invocation. Whoo! Hi, Holly. Alright, so again, Thor's black, gold, and red dragon. He holds you. Even though he looks super scary, he's a protector. He's like the guard. He's like the guy that's gonna make sure that like the zombies are all out there. He's like no man, nothing's coming in here. You can go pray. You need to go pray. I got this. So he keeps you safe, protects you during times of change, rapid transformation specifically. Relax. You're safe. Allow the change to occur. And the change that's occurring is this one. It says, work on your psychic abilities. Really remember your soul wisdom. Remember that you are ineffable and you have access to the knowledge of the entire universe if you can get still and quiet enough to listen to it. Which just says be still. And then the golden solar dragon telling you to step the fuck up as a leader, to get off of social media, to get out of your little groups. Like, I have a group in which I'm trying to get more people to get out of Facebook. It's kind of hilarious, which is why I'm moving into Patreon. But really, like, I'm creating a group of leaders, but it's not it's not even a monthly paid group. It's a one-time payment, because the energy exchange is important to me, but it's not something where I need to, like, I need your money every month. Like, that's not what it's for. And I know that my work is so much more important that I don't want to get stuck in a membership group like that. And I have way bigger fish to fry than worrying about all the people who come in and leave and don't show up and want to get mad and blah, blah, blah. Again, things change so rapidly around me. That's why this dragon shows up constantly around me, because a day for me is like a year for other people when it comes to how much I'm able to, like, clear out and know and understand in my own life. So standing up, and because I allow my DNA to be reactivated constantly, I'm no longer working with carbon-based DNA. It's crystalline DNA. It's dragon DNA all day, every day. My carbon-based DNA is crystal clear. That's why I say I'm not clearing trauma or clearing shame or clearing shadows, because my carbon-based DNA from this lifetime is so clear that I've upgraded all of myself to crystalline DNA. It's why many people are like, are you a singing crystal? Which is what I kind of was talking about before. Like, yeah, I am. My name literally translates to the pure rebellious child of Earth. So, you know. Why leave Facebook just because? Oh, I'm not leaving Facebook. I want to get bigger than Facebook. So I just want the Facebook group to get out. Also, I'm not convinced that Facebook and all of social media isn't going to eventually get shut down with all of this, even the internet. So I'm actually kind of going a little bit old school, and I'm just moving my stuff over, because I have people from, like, LinkedIn and Instagram that are like, I don't have Facebook, so I'm not going to join your group. So I'd rather have it on a platform where I can talk to someone at a rally who never would ever have Facebook, but who would join the Patreon platform. I love Facebook. I think it's a fun place to play, but I also know that I need to get bigger, and it's why I've been calling other people to get bigger and step out further than just telling people on Facebook to step out. Selflessness is the only way we can truly live our perfect selves, and the only way to be real, authentic, and leaders of the world needs. Yep, that's right. Yeah, selflessness is one of those things, too, that comes down to being a pot of gold. So thank you for that, Mary. Mom. God, why do I do that? Because I read the word Mary. Being wealthy in this day and age, we can see it. Guys, when the Notre Dame burned down, they raised like $700 billion or some shit in the first, like, 24 hours. 700 million. In the first 24 hours after Notre Dame burned, all the celebrities, all the billionaires, all of them raised like $700 million to restore that church. And then the rainforests and the Amazon were burning, and crickets was happening, and then Australia was on fire, and crickets were happening, and now there's this COVID-19, and literally, like, people aren't going to be able to pay their rent this month. There's no groceries, and yet there's not a $700 million fund to be found. So if you think that the government or the celebrity, any of those people that have stood up before are coming to save you, you gotta figure out that you are not a damsel in distress needing to be saved from a dragon. You're a motherfucking dragon. So get over yourself and go create some gold so that you can selflessly go. You don't need to be Robin Hood. You don't need to take from the rich to give to the poor. You can just be a dragon and decide, you know what, instead of pooping poop, I poop magic and rainbow, fairy, and gold. You just create gold so instantly, like you're just giving it away. Just giving it away. That is selfless. It is selfless to be wealthy when you know how to then give. You receive and you give. That's why you see the Buddha very often in this sort of like pose with one hand over the other. It could be either like a receptive, or very easily as he's receiving, if it like starts overflowing, he can give it And then, okay, I'm going to catch some more. So if you imagine money just like falling, like eventually you can't hold enough. So you're like, here, guys, like I can't hold this. It's yours. And that's what socialism and communism and all those things kind of want to try to do, but they have to take it from someone else because they still believe in lack, that there's like a limited amount. There's not. Obviously, there's not a limited amount when the Fed can just print an extra $1.5 trillion to pump into the market and then 4 days later print out another like $500 billion to bail out the airplanes, the airline industries. They're just pumping out money. It's not limited. And if you think it's limited, go Google what the fuck the Federal Reserve even is. Okay. Selfness, not selflessness. Oh, selfness. Selfness is the only way that we can be true. Well, only way for real, authentic leaders in our world means, okay, selfness. Yeah, because you need to know who you are. I get what you're saying. But once you know who you are, that's when you have to get the fuck over yourself and give. It's that a lot of people like to really just look in the mirror and say that they're pretty and remember all the things that are wrong with them so that they don't have to be leaders. It's really, really easy to spend 4 hours a week on Facebook and never actually go out and have to be on a world tour with your book or your album or your poetry or whatever, your art, whatever it is you're doing. So, of course, you're going to continuously find things that are wrong with you that you have to clear because you're actually fucking too terrified to step up and do the real work, which is fine. Whatever. We'll do it. There's plenty of us that still want to. So, and that was another 5-minute rant. So, we're going to do this. Everyone take a nice deep breath. Woosah. Just breathe for a minute. I know that was a lot of fire that came at you. It's because that's what's happening. There's a massive clearing going on. Dragon energy right now is all about the solve et coagula of alchemy. Solve meaning to dissolve, et coagula meaning to reassemble. We gotta dissolve the illusions. We gotta dissolve the shadows and the shame and the trauma and this healing, like addiction. We're addicted to healing ourselves. We're addicted to digging deep. Eventually, you dig so deep that you make a portal through the middle of the earth. And we just gotta get over ourselves. I know it says be your own pot of gold, but the only way that you really be your own pot of gold and make your own luck is to realize that it ain't about you. It is about you. It's about you, like capital Y-O-U. It's about you in the biggest, vastest version of you, not you, this version of you in this carbon-based DNA. There we go. There's that clarity that we needed. So, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And I want you all to just... this is fun. I want you all to just imagine your chakras right now. They're all just lighting up anyway, so we'll just go with it. Like that you are a rainbow though. So I don't want you to try to like make the chakras be separate. It's almost like it's like these pillars of rainbow is what I'm seeing. So you're lit up as a rainbow, but it's like they're vertical, just shooting up and shooting down. So it's very much building off of the Friday the 13th invocation I did 4 days ago, where we all became pillars of green light to help clear out the energy. Now it's a bunch of pillars of rainbow light. So going all the way down to Pachamama, Gaia, inside the crystal iron core, the iron crystal core of the first dimension. Through the second dimension, all of that plant life, animal life, bacteria, 3D humans, awareness up to 4D, which is global consciousness, 5D, 6, 7, which is where the dragons are, 8, 9, 10, 11, up to the 12th dimension very easily. Guys, you guys are pros at this. 13th. Okay, 13th dimension gets a little funky. It's where actual science breaks down. If you work higher than that, go for it. Shoot up, do your thing, babe. It's a bunch of empty space anyway, so all of your colors and such, they don't really exist up there, but you know you're still you. Cool. For the rest of us, we're going to hang out 7th D dragons where we like to play right now. 7 being a lucky number, St. Patrick's Day. Be your own luck. Be your own pot of gold. Be your own answers. Be your own process. Be your own frequency. All of you, every lifetime, every lifetime, like past and present and future lifetimes, but also all of the different timelines of this own version of you, because there is a version of you that never went through all the fucked up trauma that you're constantly trying to clear from you. So connect to that, right? Merge those timelines so that those memories are no longer even in your carbon-based DNA, because you have so solidified with a version of you that didn't even have that trauma. I know it sounds out there, but whatever. Okay. So a lot of people's root chakras are like pulsating with that, with fear. So I want you to allow that Thor gold, red, and black dragon to just like blow a little bit of fire through that, to recognize that you're safe in this, even if it sounds a little crazy, because 0 point calibration, coming back into the oneness of all, is the way that we are going to be able to ascend. So if you haven't been listening to someone who's been channeling things since this last lunar eclipse in January, then that's why this sounds new to you. It's not new if you've been listening to things since January. So go ahead and breathe again. See that big pillar. Find yourself. Remember, you're going to come back to this same human body when we're done. But for now, you're welcome to dematerialize, become stardust, float around in your dragon body, go hang out in Sirius for a second, whatever it is you want to do. hayana eya, hayana eya meniana kalapata kalamanana, enanianana, heyanianana, haninianioa. Hammarianganare ori hammariammearo iariua haoana haonana tero tara 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 ture tore tere tare o se o. Feel free to bring yourself back, bring your hands to heart center, pressing your thumbs into your heart, connecting to the vastness that is you, capital Y, O-U, in all forms, in all variation of form, in all galaxies, in all timelines. You have the power to learn any lesson from any version of you anywhere, and that is how you are your own luck. You are your own gold. You are your own psychic. It is beautiful when you can be supported in this. It is beautiful when you find someone who is able to just hold you and allow you to experiment and excavate and find out who you are without forcing their process on you. Because all of us right now have our own process. And it is so important in this time that we recognize that any learnings that we had prior to January 12th, 2020 need an upgrade. You need to update that operating system, which we just did. You're always welcome to reach out for a personalized invocation as well. I have those available for 33% off while everyone's kind of stuck at home doing this work. And also the leadership group. And always one-on-one is also always available. Just reach out to me personally and we can discuss what those are. So, whew, how's everyone doing? Good? Okay, let that integrate. No grounding. You don't need to. If you really want to, I would suggest going out and doing Sphinx pose out on the yard. And if you have like sunlight, just like putting your face and your heart towards the sun, let that golden solar dragon energy just like hit you square in the heart, and while your belly button is sunk down into Pachamama, or just being barefoot in the yard, touching the ground, touching actual earth. Those are the only way that I would ever really suggest you ground. And it's more if you like, it's more of like a pushing your any lower vibrations back down into her, and not so much that you need to bring your vibration back down. Your buzzing that you're having right now is your homeostasis. And a lot of people who like even they compare their first Dragon Invocation to listening to now maybe it's your 6th or 7th, you've probably noticed that you don't feel like you're going as high or going as buzzy because you're already normally that buzzy, okay, at that higher frequency. Thanks, Isabel. Or Isabel, sorry. I try not to add the extra up. Okay, well, that was an hour long. I love you all. Thank you so much for staying and listening and hearing the ranting. Not really ranting. The new knowledge. Dragon magic is not magic that is very easily a lot of people just don't really understand what it is, and there's a lot of lies out there, a lot of illusion about what dragons really are and what their real purpose is. So being their gatekeeper always keeps me on toes. So I love you all. Thanks so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day.